ISTPs, what types are you most compatible with? Sexually, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So spiritually, we are introverted intuition users. We need to be with someone who has extroverted intuition. I have noticed INFJs and INTJs are pretty cool. Never been in a long-term relationship, but I know as friends, definitely cool. The best is gonna be with sensing, because you know people get on our nerves. They do. They get on our nerves because of Se Critic. So I find that the 3 people least likely to get on my nerves is ESTJ, if they're not controlling, and if they're not too social, because I'm not that social. ENFP, if they're not too social, many of them are, and if they can be authentic, and if the Enneagram matches up. ENFP's awesome. They have introverted sensing in their baby slot, and we have extroverted sensing in our parent slot. So, I mean, that can be awesome. Another one that's really good, and this can be a great mental connection if you can gain an understanding of each other. This is another one where Enneagram is going to matter. ENTP and ISTP. Fire. Now be careful, because this is a relationship where it can start very fast. Conversation is great. But there's gonna come this time where you have this big miscommunication. And if you're not aware of the functions and what they're doing, how they're working, you're probably gonna just never talk to each other again. But if you've got the matching Enneagram types and you educate yourself on what is happening, how to fix, and you can fix it. You can fix it. God, that relationship is fire. I think the same thing with ENFP. It's going to be a little different because they have TI trickster. So probably, I think as a woman, ENTP especially is just fucking great because they're an NT type. They are part of the intellectual, an intellectual. Like we're an artisan temperament. So smart. An ENTP that has done the research and learned and has a responsible TI parent and has a lot of experience under their belt. They're so brilliant. So brilliant. And you know, intelligence is important to ISTPs. Well, to me anyway. ENFPs, they have their own brilliance. They go through this growth path in their 20s and 30s. Oh my God, stay away from them. I mean, maybe be their friends while they're going through that, but you're gonna get hurt if you mess with the ENFP trying to date them when they're going through their stuff. You're gonna get hurt. Probably same with ENTP. So like in your 40s, early 40s, if you have done your work and they have done their work, I think both those relationships with matching Enneagram types, fire. Now, as far as ESTJ and ISTJ can be really good relationships, but the thing with that is, I was married to an ISTJ. I met him when I was 19, so I didn't know shit. I lost respect for him. I think it came down to his inferior extroverted intuition. He had a strong 5 and a strong 1 in his tri-type. Maybe had a 4, maybe a 2, not sure. I mean, we had really good conversation and all that. He was very protective, but he never want to do anything, and I was going through my own shit, so I was just fucking nightmare. I was a nightmare. He put up with me. I lost respect for him, and I guess I realized I never really loved him. It was more of I needed him. He was a father figure that I needed because my father was very hands-off. My father was an ISTJ. So, I mean, it's not his fault. It's not my fault. We both had our own shit that we were going through. He could be a little controlling. He backed off when I'd be like, you're being controlling. But, yeah, ultimately, I don't think that's the type that I would want to date again. I don't know. I feel like growth is super important to me. And I just feel like with an ISTJ and an ESTJ, I can't grow more. I really like the NP types because there's a lot of growth to be had. So INTP is going to be really great for it's a kindred relationship. So you can develop like a nice friendship. I've never dated one. I don't think I ever want to date one. As far as the INFP, you can connect on all levels. Like that's fire if you have the same Enneagram type. Because with Enneagram type, you see the world in the same way. It's just way different. But INFPs, honestly, I think most of them, they don't have the grit to work through the bumps of that relationship because it's a refinement relationship. So if it's a relationship of growth, there's going to be lots of bumps that you have to work through. And especially the older the INFP is, the more pain, suffering, trauma they have inside themselves because they have SI child. They never forget that shit. So it's like, yeah, that's painful even as friends because I feel like the INFP abandons me, gives up on the relationship. I mean, they gotta self-preserve. I get it. They don't have the grit. They don't have the stamina, the strength, maybe don't have the will for it, whatever. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I ever want to go there again. As acquaintances though, INFPs are great, or as friendships that you don't get too close, like maybe get close and then go away. Because I think they're just gonna hurt me, honestly. Not that they mean to, it's just the reasons I said. ESTJ, we just get along. We just do. They're our shadow type. But the reason I guess I just haven't wanted to date another ESTJ, they're very social and I'm not. I don't want to be around people. Like that's another thing with the instincts of Enneagram. I have a very strong sexual and self-preservation instinct. My social, I don't give a fuck about the group. I don't. Like if I'm a part of the group, sure I care, but what I care most about is if I'm okay and if my partner is okay. Like it's intimacy with my one partner and intimacy with myself. Those are my top priorities. The group can go fuck themselves. I don't give a fuck. So, extroverted types often have a stronger social need, and some ENTPs and some ENFPs, they are more on the introverted side. So for myself as a 4-wing 5, I really need to be with someone who is closer on the introversion side, and also don't give a fuck about the group because it comes down to values and all that. Who else? Okay, ESFJs. Look, I don't think I've ever seen a female ISTP date an ESFJ long term. they can be very manipulative. It's hard to find a healthy, I was gonna say male ESFJ, but even female ESFJ, they're just controlling. They like force you to do the social, like, hey, how are you thing, when it's like, why can't I just start talking and tell you, like, get to the point? So I really don't like that. I do not want to be controlled. Like, my mother's an ESFJ, and she just, like, her NE child just has to know everything that's going on. That's why they're so gossipy. And so, I like a little bit of gossip. I like some gossip. But, like, I just find ESFJs to be really shallow. Really shallow, I mean, overall. And it's like they don't look inside, don't introspect. At least it doesn't seem like it. There's just a lot about ESFJs. It's not for me. It's not for me. I have seen male ISTPs marry ESFJs. I mean, hey, if that's your cup of tea, then cool. Go ahead. Go ahead. Not for me. Definitely not for me. ISFJs, I got to know a couple males. The females are usually pretty cool. I do meet a lot of the females in work setting. They're kind of annoying to me. And of course, Enneagram type matters. Some of them are more annoying than others, but yeah, the males, you have to pass the test of the critic. No matter what relationship you're in, you have to pass the test of the critic. So to pass the test of an ISFJ's critic, they have FI critic. So they're gonna wanna see you have morals. So, like, if you're just being yourself and just like being like, oh yeah, I would do this, which to them can seem reckless, or to them can look like you don't value yourself or you don't have morals, and they judge you. They are quick to judge you. And so it's like, wow, like they just totally discarded me because they judged me. They didn't bother asking me for clarification. And their TI child, I'm sorry, they can be kind of stupid. That is the truth. So, I mean, I don't see an ISTP woman wanting to be with a man who she thinks is like not that smart. It's not that they're not smart, but like their logic is a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. So I really like the ENTP because they have sophisticated logic. Like, they're smart as fuck. ENFPs, once they get all those experiences under their belt and they grow themselves, they can be so brilliant. They really can. Like, wow. So ENTP, ENFP, that's my cup of tea. But the Enneagram type matters. I mean, maybe more so for me because I'm a 4. I already feel misunderstood and unaccepted by the world already, and it's really important to me to be understood and all that 4 stuff. So, but I have seen online other types, like ISTP will say, oh yeah, I'm with an ENTP, and they have the same Enneagram type. And they're like, yeah, it's a great relationship. We've been together for years. And it's like, cool. So, yeah. I guess that's all I say. I'm trying to keep it short, but